Jonah, a prophet chosen by God, felt a tremor of reluctance when the divine call came. The city of Nineveh, steeped in wickedness, needed his voice, his warning. But fear coiled in Jonah's heart, whispering doubts and fueling defiance. "No," Jonah resolved. Turning his back on the divine request, he descended to the bustling seaport of Joppa, where ships bobbed like restless birds, ready to carry passengers to distant shores. Escape shimmered on the horizon. He booked passage on a ship bound for Tarshish, a land as far from Nineveh as his heart could desire. As the ship set sail, Jonah retreated to the lower deck, seeking oblivion in sleep, attempting to outrun the weight of responsibility. The sea, once calm, erupted in fury. Winds howled, tearing at the sails, and waves crashed over the deck, threatening to swallow the ship whole. Fear gripped the hearts of the sailors as they battled the raging storm. Jonah, awakened by the chaos, knew the truth. Reluctantly, the sailors heeded Jonah's words. They lifted him, their faces etched with sorrow, and cast him into the churning waters. As he plunged beneath the waves, the storm abruptly ceased, and the sea became still. But Jonah did not drown. God, in his infinite mercy, had prepared a giant fish to swallow him whole. In the dark, cavernous belly of the creature, Jonah found himself suspended between life and death. 3 days and 3 nights Jonah spent in the belly of the fish, a period of profound introspection. He prayed to God, acknowledging his disobedience and seeking forgiveness with a contrite heart. God heard Jonah's plea, recognizing the sincerity in his repentance. He commanded the giant fish to release Jonah upon the shore, a second chance offered on the sandy beach. Stepping onto dry land, Jonah felt the weight of his renewed purpose. He would go to Nineveh, deliver God's message, and face the consequences of his past disobedience with newfound courage. The journey to Nineveh was long and arduous, but Jonah pressed on, his heart filled with a sense of urgency. He imagined the city, a sprawling metropolis teeming with people unaware of their impending fate. Finally, he reached the gates of Nineveh, a city of imposing walls and bustling streets. The air was thick with the sounds of commerce, the laughter of children, and the whispers of hidden sins. Jonah stepped into the heart of the city and raised his voice. 40 days, he proclaimed, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. To Jonah's astonishment, the people of Nineveh listened. From the king on his throne to the lowliest servant, they believed in God and proclaimed a fast. They donned sackcloth, humbling themselves before the divine. God saw their sincerity, their genuine remorse, and relented. He did not bring upon them the destruction he had threatened. Nineveh was spared, its people given a second chance. But Jonah was displeased. He sat outside the city, bitter that God had shown compassion to the Ninevites. He expected punishment, not forgiveness. God provided a leafy plant to shade Jonah from the scorching sun, and Jonah was grateful. But then God sent a worm to destroy the plant, and Jonah became angry. Is it right for you to be angry about the plant? God asked. "You cared about a plant you did not labor for. But should I not care about Nineveh with its many people?" Jonah pondered God's words, realizing the depth of his own selfishness. He had valued a fleeting comfort over the lives of an entire city. He began to understand the boundless nature of God's love, a love that extended to all creation, even those who seemed undeserving. With newfound humility, Jonah returned to Nineveh not as a prophet of doom, but as a witness to God's transformative power. He shared his story, not of escape and defiance, but of repentance and redemption. The people of Nineveh listened, their hearts open to the message of hope. Nineveh flourished, not because of its strength or wisdom, but because of its willingness to turn towards compassion and faith. Jonah, now an elder, looked upon the city with a heart filled with gratitude. He had learned that true obedience lies not in blind adherence, but in understanding and embracing God's boundless love. The giant fish, a symbol of divine intervention, became a reminder that even in the darkest depths, hope and redemption are always within reach. And so, the story of Jonah and the giant fish became a timeless tale whispered from generation to generation, a testament to the power of repentance and the boundless grace of God. Let us remember that, like Jonah, we may stray from our path, but through humility and sincere repentance, we can always find our way back to the light. May we learn from the people of Nineveh, who chose to embrace compassion and faith, transforming their city into a beacon of hope for all the world. For in the end, it is not our perfection that defines us, but our willingness to learn, to grow, and to extend grace to ourselves and to others. Let us choose to live with compassion, understanding, and a deep appreciation for the boundless love that surrounds us all.